The Arigo solutions provide visibility into all aspects of the supply chain, business intelligence, and enterprise collaboration. Arigo is excited to demonstrate the fall 2010 collaboration and desktop capabilities. In this economy, we all have to do more with less headcount and less travel. Employees, vendors, inspectors, 3PLs, and others are texting, IMing, emailing, having video conference calls, and WebEx presentations about the sample, product development, purchase orders, logistics, and much more. While many collaboration technologies are currently being used, ask yourself, are they being used to the best benefit of my organization? The Arigo Solution Suite allows the different forms of collaboration to be attached and archived throughout the life of the product. The Arigo Mashup enables you to make accurate decisions by creating actionable analytics supported by a framework to seamlessly aggregate data from many sources. Drill-in capabilities ease the investigation of issues. Over 15 years' experience with private label retailers, Arigo has developed out-of-the-box best practice reporting. Arigo can bring in third-party reference data through the desktop and back-end integration to increase accuracy and reduce research. Arigo's desktop provides one location to gain visibility into the Arigo Solution Suite and other third-party applications. We provide role-based configuration, allowing the user to move and configure the page to meet their individual requirements. Message boards to collaborate across your teams, for example, 2 sourcing managers discussing a vendor they're having trouble with. Tasks and alerts impact your schedule through an integrated calendar. With Arigo, you can bring in third-party applications, both on the front end as a launch point to the application and on the back end via data integration for best-in-class analytics and decision support. We have brought in an example PLM provider to demonstrate this capability. Arigo also supports multiple languages for the global user community. With robust and dynamic workflow and collaboration solutions, Arigo enables efficient processes and accountability throughout the pre-production, production, and in-transit stages of your product's lifecycle. All product types are supported in the Arigo Solution Suite. As an example, we will take a sweater through a basic sourcing manager's workflow and show how efficient collaboration utilization and accountable information sharing is archived for long-term reference. The sweater sample requirements have been submitted from the design team. This is either entered directly into Arigo or through an integrated PLM, PDM, or CAD application. The sourcing manager has reviewed the tech pack and views an attached email with the subject of Rush Sweater Sample Process. Once an email has been tagged into an Arigo reference ID, all follow-on responses will also be attached. The Arigo data and workflow can be pre-configured based on any defined attribute. For an example, a matrix allows for size and color breakdown in pre-packed details. Tasks and expected time frames can be predetermined. These details can be modified to meet the specific sample item requirements. Once the sourcing manager has reviewed the information on the sweater, she has a question for the design manager. She chooses to quickly send him an IM about the materials being used. The design manager ultimately wants to maintain the same material in the tech pack. The sourcing manager quickly tags the IM to the sample item number. As you can see in the collaboration page, the IM is now attached and archived to the sample item. The next step of the process is execute RFQ. When executing a request for quote, the sourcing manager first reviews the selected vendors, adds any additional vendors, and views the defaulted ports and delivery terms. Any of these attributes can be modified. The sourcing manager may choose to send a particular vendor a note or a document to the entire list of vendors. Attachments like the tech pack or RFQ rules would be defined as vendor accessible. Once the sourcing manager submits the RFQs, the vendors either will see that they have a new RFQ in their Arigo system, or they will receive an email containing all the required information. On or around the RFQ response delivery date, the sourcing manager will receive a task indicating all vendors have submitted responses and the design team has completed their sample review. Arigo's costing engine has calculated the landed cost of the various quotes, incorporating duty rates, international freight rates, and currency conversions. In reviewing the costing information, the sourcing manager can see only one vendor is exceeding 45% profit margin, which is typically the minimum profit margin accepted. In the sample review from the design team, they have selected a different vendor. The sourcing manager sends an IM to the design manager about this selection. The design manager agrees to move forward with the vendor who has an acceptable profit margin. The sourcing manager attaches and archives the IM. Upon completing the approval and generate work order function, the pre-production workflow is complete, and we begin the work order negotiation with the vendor. The sourcing manager has been negotiating with the vendor about an increase in volume from 5,000 to 10,000 items, and she needs the vendor to reduce the price due to the volume increase. Since the email was initially tagged, the responses are automatically brought into Arigo. Also note the collaboration information at the item level is now brought into the work order. The additional 5,000 items have been approved at a reduced rate by 50 cents for all 10,000 items. However, the additional 5,000 items will have a different delivery date. The sourcing manager will adjust cost, volumes, and delivery dates. She will also review the detailed volume color breakout and then release the work order, generating a PO. The PO can either be generated in Arigo or with an integrated ERP. The sourcing manager can get many different alerts so they can manage by exception versus tracking all purchase orders and or work orders to find the problem. An alert has just been received that production inspection has failed. Upon research into the issue, the sourcing manager can see the details of the item, why the sweater has failed, and how many items have failed. The inspector has provided a video of the failure per the company requirements. The sweater has a stitching failure. One seam was stitched inside out. This video is in addition to the Arigo data and the inspection report indicating that 500 items will be produced again and sent in the second batch. The sourcing manager will make any adjustments needed on the purchase order. The sourcing manager receives another alert because there has been a short shipment of an additional 500 items that were expected in the first batch of sweaters. She quickly launches her Skype and can see that this vendor is still available. She sends a message stating she urgently needs to speak with them about a short shipment, and the session will be recorded for her records. The sourcing manager and vendor work out the details of the short shipment and come to a quick resolution by sending the 500 items by air. The Skype session was attached and archived with the other information on the sweater. We have shown a basic workflow for this demonstration, but the Arigo solution suites are robust and can support the most complex of scenarios. Throughout the history of the sweater, there are typical bumps in the road. The explanation for these issues along the way are not stuck in an employee's email, IM, or Skype, but they are attached and archived with the item, work order, purchase order, and/or bill of lading. There is rich actionable data throughout the life of the sweater within the Arigo solution suite, in addition to the collaboration information. With Arigo, your team can quickly pull required information together for issue resolution. The Arigo desktop creates a unified approach to manage best-in-class applications. The Arigo collaboration solution has enabled end-to-end accountability and visibility within your organization.